Oyakasha.
Hello, everybody. We are Geeks Assembled, and today we're discussing another adaptation of a Stephen King novel. This time it's a sequel to one of his classic books. This is Doctor Sleep. We're talking about the 2019 movie starring Ewan McGregor as a grown up Danny Torrance. Who was the young kid in The Shining. Also starring Rebecca Ferguson as Rose the Hat. It's another long movie. So let's get going and opening thoughts on Doctor Sleep. Who wants to go first? Let's do Susan this time. Let's do Susan.
All right, I can't brush it off. All right. So, all right, this is the sequel to The Shining, the 79 Kubrick film. And I think that there was an issue that they were trying not to make it a sequel to the 1990s Shining, miniseries. And
Yep.
so that was interesting because Stephen King didn't really like the Shining TV series or the Shining Kubrick movie. He liked the Shining TV series that he was more intimate with and more hands-on with, and so that was a challenge. And one of the questions that we were asking here in this group before we started recording was, did you see the Danny Lloyd cameo in the baseball scene? I think I did, and he was I think he was in the credits as like watcher or spectator or bleachers or something like that. Anyway, he was just a sort of 2 or 3 second pan across thing. And anyway, that was kind of cool. And let's see, there was in this story, Danny's character grew up to be Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he had connections with his young Padawan named Adra, and it's basically horror Star Wars. No, I'm just kidding. It's a good story, and it's featured a lot of great actors in it. It's got Rebecca Ferguson, and apparently also from our earlier conversation, who do you think she looks like, Craig?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
All right, a bit like Gwyneth Paltrow. And Kylie Curran, who's probably related to the people who run the or who started the Curran Theater in San Francisco. It's a big theater name in Northern California, the Curran family, and so they had a theater there from, anyway, it's a really, really big theater family. And it's got people like Robert Longstreet and Carol Strickland, who, he's played Lurch, he's played a lot of really amazing glunky characters, but in this one he was playing one of the people, and there's like this the stories about this, the people of the knot or something, the tie the knot, and they are people who eat people with the Shining, and so they would have eaten Scatman Crothers in the original movie, and they would have eaten Danny Torrance, and And let's see. And they definitely were up against Audra. Audra was more powerful than all of them. So it, you know, it was like Star Wars in a horror genre, because, you know, the most powerful one was Obi-Wan Kenobi's apprentice. So that's just like it. Anyway, really cool stuff. I really liked it. There was lots of really intense scenes, and it was a long movie. It was 3 hours. Like it had, and it packed a punch. You know, it was like emotional and stuff. It had a lot of, as Craig will probably go into, some of the family stuff. But yeah, the relationships are great. I loved the relationship between Danny and his busy mate, Billy, played by Cliff Curtis. I mean, they were like sponsee in AA, and they were, you know, they were sort of put together, and when Danny needed somebody to believe him, he didn't have his mother anymore, so he had to go to Billy, and Billy did believe him and actually was there to help. And yeah, so it was a really good movie, and it was a really good sequel to the Shining movie. And they did some things with this that were interesting, because they recreated this scene with Danny instead of Jack. So that was cool. And then there was, yeah, so I'm just going to go back to this image and pass it back over to you, Lee.
Thank you, Susan. And we'll go swiftly over to Craig.
Well, this film, I would say, is one of the best sequels that I've ever seen, apart from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, in terms of sequels.
Wow.
I think this is a perfect fucking sequel. Now, obviously, we were talking earlier from our other podcast, Salem's Lot, about child killing demons and things like this, and the whole absent child thing. You've got it in this. I mean, and you've got it in such a way that it is disturbingly shocking. And on another note that ties in with this, my mum, she does a lot of local walks and things now. We've got a place called Parkland Walk, which is in Highgate in East Finchley, near where we live. And in the archway, there is a sculpture, of Spriggan, which is a soul-eating a soul eater of children, and it's in one of the disused archways as you go. It's very creepy. Now, this ties in because Stephen King lived in Crouch End, and he wrote the short story Crouch End, basically based on this sculpture that's under there, which is part of his the new tales of the, I think it's called, I don't know if I can pronounce this right, but the Cthulhu mythos.
Yeah.
And some of that ties in with Nightmares and Dreamscapes. I think it's from 1980 it was published. So yeah, this has got everything. It packs a punch. What Susan said, everything Susan says was spot on. I mean, the original Shining, I mean, that was Kubrick. I mean, that's a master of his art. I mean, but to have to come back to the sequel, to actually use the same locations and piece by piece, everything was so well done. It was polished so well, and it had a fantastic cast. And not even new twists, but they just followed on from a brilliant gem, which was The Shining. and it was just, I think it's a masterpiece. I've got to say, and that's my opening thoughts. Oh, also, you can see my mum's Spriggan. It's on display. If anyone lives local in North London and you're in East Finchley, you can pop into the Cup of Joy restaurant. Me and David and my mum have got an exhibition on it. It changes seasonally, but you can actually see the Spriggan on display, just on the wall. And it's in East Finchley High Road, and it's open, I think, 9 to 5 most days.
Spooky.
Right.
But that's another advert.
Yeah, he got his plug in early this time.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Craig. I agree with you. I mean, to take Kubrick's Shining, movie and do what they've done with Doctor Sleep. I know Stephen King sort of hated Kubrick's vision of his novel, but the film company this time talked Stephen King around to so they could do this Doctor Sleep, and said, look, we're going to do it this, we're going to make the sequel to Kubrick's Shining. We know you don't like that, but we're going to let you get involved with this and that. So he was more involved in this than he was The Shining. But it's great, as Craig said, how they've rebuilt the interior of the Overlook Hotel exactly like the 1980 movie.
Yep.
The carpets, the wall, the decor. It's just amazing how they've done that. And to have lookalike actors to play Danny's mother, like what Shelley Duvall did in the original movie, and to play this Jack as well. And did you know that who played Jack in this one?
Danny
Henry Thomas,
Henry Thomas,
who we all know as Elliot from E.T.
Elliot E.T. Yeah.
That's what he gets up to. But yeah, it was just the way, and also the lookalike for Scatman Crothers.
Dick Halloran.
Yeah.
Lovely.
To bring those characters back. I mean, okay, yes, they're not the same actors,
but Carl Lumley nailed the voice. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you turn your head and you don't see this face anymore. You see Scatman's face.
Yeah. So those three character actors work so well, and they've brought something special to this movie. I know, Shelley Duvall and Jack don't act anymore, and they say Scatman's no longer with us. But to have these actors do those portrayals was just amazing. And also, Ewan McGregor's portrayal of a drug-fueled alcoholic older Danny. I can sympathise and understand his characterisation in this, going to the AA meetings and stuff like that.
He was brilliant in
Lloyd the
Train
Bartender.
Spotting. He played it up in Train Spotting that he was. He's played a couple really rough, alcoholic addicts. Like, what was that other movie with Christopher Eccleston that we just reviewed?
Oh, Shallow Grave.
Shallow Grave, yeah. He's got that down. Oh my gosh, he's good. Wow.
But this is an intense movie, because when you're involving children and the mutilation and killing of children, which it is in this, and I'm guessing they were eating was it the souls?
Yeah, the last breaths of
the last breath, yeah.
And the more painful, the more more pure.
Pure, yeah. It's and to me, I mean, the scenes were there, that in your face, but I think it had to be done to tell the story. The way that it wasn't sort of graphic overplay with blood, guts, and everything like that, but it was there, and to have the true knot, the cult, was amazing with
Yeah.
those the shining eyes and Rose the Hat
And the
was
snake fight girl.
Rose the Hat was a great antagonist in this movie.
Oh my gosh.
Snake bite Andy.
Yeah, that was the young 15-year-old.
Yeah.
What a great cast of characters just in that cult.
Yeah.
Really.
That was sweet.
I mean, that just added something else to the mythos of The Shining.
Yeah, no kidding.
So you get, this is like a movie in two parts, because you say you've got the build up of the cult, and then all of a sudden you're back at the Overlook Hotel near the end of the movie. And to have, because they use the same music.
Yeah.
For the theme from The Shining in Doctor Sleep, and I think it's one of the best horror movie themes ever.
Yeah.
So that's my opening thoughts anyway. So open floor on your moments.
I
All
love
right, the blood falling out of the door
Yeah.
was perfect, exactly the same. And the kid riding around on the scooter in the Overlook was fantastic.
The old lady in the shower, and
The
there's
old
like,
lady in the shower.
at the end he becomes like a carer for the demons, the ghosts. Like, oh, that's cool.
But that was good as well, because when Rose the Hat entered his mind and unlocked, or Danny unlocked, I don't know if she unlocked or he unlocked all those caskets, all the ghosts from the Overlook came back, and some of them were very familiar from The Shining.
The twins.
Yeah.
The twins, and also the guy, I can't remember his name now, but it wasn't the same actor, but they got someone to look like him who
Farley.
was it? Yeah, the one who was talking to Jack.
One of the ghosts.
Yeah, one of the ghosts.
Yeah.
April Stone was stunning. When she saw when she saw Rose the Hat in the fridge when she was getting the drinks at the supermarket.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. I mean, they really depicted like a out of body experiences. They did that really well, really well done.
That was a great, between Rose the Hat and the young lass.
Adra.
Yeah. Then you realize how powerful she is, and you think, wow.
Great power play between both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Adra, as a strong character, she should, they wrote her so that you no matter how old you are, you'd feel kinship with her. I like that. I like that about her character, that she was flawed. There was a lot of humanity there. She'd skip school. She'd do stuff. She'd run around. She snuck over to meet Danny and stuff, Uncle Dan, and that was really cool. Is that they built that into a safe place for her, is in that relationship, whereas every other relationship in this was really sketch and horrible.
And you notice when Grandpa Flick was passing away and he didn't have any more energy to suck in, and he just disintegrated. It reminds me of Nosferatu from Salem's Lot. Maybe they are that type of parasitic vampires.
Yeah.
Well, they were a type of vampire, weren't they? Really.
Yeah.
Feeding on the soul.
Yeah. And the other thing that I noticed was that the doctor's office and then the interview office were the same, like the doctor's office in where Danny's meeting, and then the interview office where his father meets to interview to get the Overlook.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to say that.
Isn't that a trip? I was like, holy crap. Oh my God. And then the drive up in the mountains, that looked exactly the same.
Hmm.
And then,
It's just-
and then the maze. I mean, like the only thing that they didn't do was the backward stepping. I was like, how are they gonna do it?
I think my manager's friend stayed in the Overlook Hotel.
So cool.
He
And
said it's the most scariest night of his life.
and Bruce Greenwood did great as the doctor in that psychologist office thing.
yeah.
The shootout was brilliant when they're in the woods with the caravans.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was really intense.
Wicked. That was really good.
So they were
Probably my
double crossed there, wasn't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it Crow? What his name was?
The
Hmm.
teddy bear.
Yeah.
And then
Funny.
when the Overlook Hotel ghosts come back for her in the hotel, that was really cool, man. That was just
So she got a comeuppance.
yeah.
But she was one sexy bad girl. Rose that.
Yep.
I like Rebecca Ferguson. She's a brilliant actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anything else we'd like to discuss with Dr. Sleep? Yes.
What else has Mike Flanagan done? The director and the writer.
I don't know. Let's have a look. But there is certain scenes in this.
Oh yeah, he's done a lot. You know, he's
I can't find his
The
name.
Haunting
But
Hill, Oculus. Okay, he's done quite a bit.
there were some sort of nice scenes in this with the with Danny
He did
being
Haunting of Hill House.
like a nighttime in a care home,
Yeah,
Yeah.
looking after the elderly who are on death's door, and with the cats know, as I said, they know when the people are ready to go. But it was just some certain scenes there, where he sat with the old guy and they start singing together, and it's just great, holding his hand, and it's just some great scenes there. So, anything else before we move on?
no, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. And we get Red Rum again, of course.
Yep.
Red Rum. I would say watch The Shining first, but you can watch. It doesn't matter what order you watch them in. To be honest, it works really well. That's why it's clever. You don't miss out on anything. You learn new things from either way. So, it can be a prequel, or it can be, or a sequel.
Right.
Either.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. So, final say and score, shall we?
Sure.
Okay then. Susan.
Okay. So because I'd never seen this before, and because we just reviewed The Shining about 6 months ago, and I really enjoyed that. I really think Kubrick had this huge vision, huge vision of things, and so he was able to capture those things like 2001. This brings it down and makes it sort of like sort of interpersonal, and that, I mean, the vision is still there because it's referenced here and there throughout. And there is the epic scene of the flying was there to make the expansive, to build, to break it out of its little interpersonal box. And so that was fun. And Ewan McGregor, once again, wow, knocks it out of the park. He's like that. He's like the baseball kid. He really hit it. And I agree with the fellas about Rose the Hat, and I think that any person who wants to be brought up by Obi-Wan Kenobi is a wise person. And so yeah, I think that is I think that I'll give this a 10 out of 10 little big wheel tricycles riding through the Overlook out of 10.
Right, thank you, Susan. Right, let's go over to Craig. I wonder if he's going to score the same.
For me, I think it's an outstanding movie. I will give this 10 Spriggan soul-eating demons out of 10.
Oh dear me, yeah, it's a great sequel to an iconic movie, which this movie doesn't really, as far as I know, differ from the book. They've sort of stayed true to Stephen King's vision for this one, because say Kubrick didn't. Yeah, it's a no-brainer for me. This is going to be, wait for it, it's going to be 10 purple flowers out of 10.
Oh.
See, if you saw the beginning of the movie, I want a hat like that.
You know, that could have been right out of Frankenstein too, with the little girl and the flowers down by the water.
Yeah. I
It's,
mean, start a movie off like that, then you know you're going to have a good movie, horror movie, aren't you?
Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Oh yes, relax. So that's our little review of Doctor Sleep, and because nobody mentioned it, because his mother used to call him Doc.
Yep.
Doc, and the old guy called him Doctor Sleep.
Yep.
I only figured that out halfway through the movie. But yeah, that's our review of that. So you guys out there, watch it. I recommend it. And then please leave a comment below and let us know what you thought of the movie. It's on all available formats: DVD, Blu-ray, digital, streaming, or any illegal sites. But please leave a comment below and give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down. We're all over social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. If you'd like to be in our group and casts, get in touch with any one of our members or me personally. Just leave us a message. We'll get you on. What's the matter, Susan?
Just
Was you
pointing at you and it Craig,
right.
or at me.
I thought you were trying to get my attention.
No. I'll speak up if I want to. If I want to get your attention.
Oh, what are you pointing at? I thought you were pointing at your nose. Yeah. Yeah, anybody will try and get you into. All you've got to be is over 18, working camera and microphone on your PC, laptop, tablet. I know she's trying to put me off now, and you'll be in. And also on YouTube, if you subscribe to our channel, please make sure you press the bell notification button, and you'll get one of that. Well, I don't know. Does it sound like that?
It has no sound.
Well, why have we got a bell then?
Because it is a bell.
Yeah, but then the bell doesn't make a sound though, does it?
No, but it does. It does have a bell. Jesus.
Are we defeating the object?
Stop being a bell end, Lee.
Oh, yeah.
20 Hail Marys. So until you'll get a bell notification, and you'll
Ding ding.
be able to look at a brand new video to your heart's content. We put up maybe 2 or 3 a week. Movies, TV, audio dramas, you name it. We across the board. So
But this month it's all Stephen King all month long.
Oh, yeah.
we're having a spooky month, so I thought we'll do Stephen King.
Mike Shannon, if you're out there, comment.
You want to get any more plugs in while we're at it, Craig?
Yeah, you can check out my season 5 Kings of Horror on llpodcast.com. Check it out. If you like audio podcasts, horror based, then check me out.
You see, and that was also that was also for him, for anybody out there who wants to date him. Check him out. That's what he's trying to say. Check me out, he said. Yeah, you see, we know what you're up to, Craig.
You can't see me, you just have to listen to me for a good 3 hours, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, see, we do have a laugh.
If you're having trouble sleeping at night, listen to one of my podcasts. It's a good antidote.
Yeah, but we say we need some new fresh faces as well. I mean, we do have some of the old guard still hanging around when they can make the cast, but we do need some fresh blood. So, are you all right there, Susan?
I need a fresh face.
So, so I think we are actually going slightly mad.
Yeah, I think the Disaronno is kicking in now.
All work and no play makes Susie a dull girl.
Susan, that's not water, is it? What's that? What's going on?
All work and no play makes Susie a dull girl.
Oh,
All
God.
work and no play makes Susie a dull girl.
Right.
I'm your friend till the end.
Oh, God. Somebody help me. Somebody press that stop button.
I'm your greatest fan.
Gold.